This is my Harbor Freight jump starter that I use to night film with my LED light. I can't charge it anymore because where the plug plugs in to charge it is broken. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this apart and I'm going to put it in a Plano box. Some of the other things you need for a project like this is a battery tender, so you can charge the battery that I'm going to pull out of this and keep it good. I know this battery is good. I get 8 or more hours of light out of it. And it should be a 9 amp hour lead acid sealed battery that's in here. I got a couple of 12 volt plugs. You always need a fuse. This is a 20 amp fuse and a switch to be able to turn it on and off, and wiring and other parts. There should be some wiring that I can use inside of this when I get it apart. I've taken these apart before. Sometimes they can be tricky. And I would recommend caution when dealing with anything that has to do with electricity. So be careful when you're taking one of these apart. I'm going to get a screwdriver and start taking this thing apart. Gotta take these tiny screws out. There's a bunch of them here. There we go. This is actually a 17 amp hour battery. That's even better. Some good usable wire in here. Now the question is, will this fit in the Plano box? It's actually bigger than I anticipated. Nope, I'm going to have to get a different box. This is definitely a good battery. This would make a fish finder last forever on a kayak. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put it on my battery tender to get it fully charged. I'd say it's probably at 80%, 90% right now. And then I'm going to go out and get a bigger box. This is usually the way I do these projects. I will do them on the fly. And as you can see, I bought the wrong size box. Well, let's get some usable parts out of this, and then I'm going to go and get a box. So these were the negative. Let's get this zip tie off here, off the negatives. And this negative is usable. Oh man, this is hard on here. They didn't solder it, did they? No, that's on there. Ugh. There we go. Another usable part. There's a few more in here that I can probably use. Go from one terminal to another. So I might as well pull them out of here and use them. Waste not. And another. Alright, I'm going to set this aside and I'm going to go to the store and try to find something else to put the battery in. Well, I had to go on a little adventure to find a box that this battery could fit in. All the local stores were selling either small or large Plano boxes. This was from Bass Pro Shops, and it's about in between the two sizes. And the battery fits in there almost perfectly. I will have to put pool noodles or something else in here to fill in the extra space and hold it in one place, but this should work perfectly. Now to see how I'm going to put this together. The inside of this has bars, so drilling it is going to be kind of interesting. So I have to decide, do I want to put the plugs here on top, or do I want to put them in the side? With a battery in it, there's plenty of room for the plug in either direction. I think I'm going to chance it. I'm going to drill it in the top here. In fact, I might be able to get away with putting it right here, right on the very edge, because I can see the rib right there. I got my lucky 1-inch hole saw. I used this on my new canoe to put in the trolling motor wires. Then I used it on a firehouse bucket as water intake for my little firehouse bucket water filter. And the tube on these are 1 inch wide. Oh, we'll check length here. that'll work. That's it. That's all we need. These came with screws, and I'm hoping my drill will put these in. I want these to be as waterproof as possible while on the lake, so I'm going to use a little bit of shoe goo on these to waterproof them. You can use marine silicone too. I actually have some. I've not opened it yet. Figured I'd use this. It's what I used on the NuCanoe too. This stuff does smell. I'm going to leave these open to allow it to dry without like drying this on here and permanently closing them. Now, where am I going to put the switch? Say you drill a hole that big, put it up through, and then tighten it down. So I got to find a drill bit that big. It's the biggest drill bit I could find. I'm going to put it right in between the two. I just have to keep honing it out until it's big enough for the switch. Now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put some shoe goo on it. Just have to be very careful so I don't clog up my switch. There we go. This being a do-it-yourself, it's not going to look too pretty. I think we're ready for some wiring. Both of these are going to be off the same switch. So I got these wires, and I got wires I can cut from there to put all this stuff together. We're going to put the fuse on the positive. This has the 20 amp fuse already in it. One of these days I want to get a better camera. Right now all I have is an action camera for this. I always have trouble with these connectors. That's what a good pair of lineman pliers are for. I've had these pliers for 20 years. And on this side, it's going to go to the switch. Battery to switch, and then this will go to positive and positive. And then we'll have a negative to negative. Okay, just want to make sure it's working. Bam. Whoo, bright light. Bam. Just double checking all the connectors. I'm going to go ahead and tighten these down. If I had dielectric grease, I'd put it all over this stuff. But I don't have any. Go and get all my spare pool noodles put in this. Yeah, that's going to work good. There we go. I've converted the Harbor Freight jump starter into a battery box. In reality, it probably would have been cheaper just to buy another jump starter. I've seen these as low as 30 bucks. Now I'm going to show you how I'm going to charge this. I got a 12 volt plug plugged into the battery tender. And I just plug it in. And there you go. That will keep it good, and it will also charge it. The only thing you have to remember with a setup like this, the switch has to be on. With the switch off, it won't work. Turns red, no connection. Thanks for watching this rainy day build, and please give me a like and subscribe. And leave me a comment below of what else you think I should do to this box.